Right then, welcome back to NSK TV and welcome back to another Entertainer Spotlight. I am joined today with Caren with a C, obviously, Caren with a C.
It's me.
Thanks for coming and being a part of the Entertainer Spotlight. Really appreciate it. You've been part of the London team now for, it feels like forever, but it's probably only a few months. How long have you been with us? It feels like a long time.
October-ish, October, I believe.
October. So wow, yeah. So probably wow. Okay, yeah, long time. Sort of 7-8 months, something like that. Brilliant. And I mean, you get amazing feedback. That's the first thing that I should say. Every single party you go to, people love you. I know in the office where you're one of the people that we just know that if we put you on a party, you're going to do a great job. We don't have to worry about you. We don't have to sit there going, oh my gosh, I hope this is going to go well. You always do a fantastic job. Everybody always loves you. But the whole point of this is to find out more about you. So you've been working for us for about 8 months. Have you had much more of a background in entertainment?
Not directly. I've been, a friend and I have been running dance events for many years. So so standing up and talking in front of people, you know, I don't have a problem with. And and I've worked with children for over 20 years. So I guess it was kind of bringing the two things together. I saw the advert. I thought, yeah, I think I could do that. Met you guys, and the rest is history, as they say. So yeah.
I'm very glad that you did. So tell us a little bit about your life then. So you do a lot of dance workshops. Why don't you tell us about that?
So
That's very interesting.
So I run salsa dancing events, mostly over the weekend. So it's a whole weekend. So families can come. It's for everybody, the young and old. They turn up on Friday, check into the hotel. We dance basically all weekend, have fun. And people can stay for 2 nights or they can stay for 3 nights, and it's just like a mini holiday really. It's great fun. Wow. Nice to catch up with everybody, good excuse for a party, and yeah, I love it. And
how often do you run those?
2 or 3 a year we do, because it's quite not demanding, but it's quite hard work, you know, getting everything together and getting people, you know, bookings in and stuff like that. So that's probably, it doesn't sound like much, just 2 or 3 a year, but it's quite a lot of work.
My background is in event planning, event management, and I know how difficult it is running an event, you know, where you've got to get people in one, but it's a nightmare. It really is.
Things like equipment, the people, you know, the hotel, there's so many little, you know, bits and pieces that, you know, you have to consider and prepare beforehand. So it's more the preparation. Once we turn up, you know, if anything goes wrong, you know, you're there, then you just deal with it. But it's all in the preparation.
And do you find that when you're actually there on the day, you get to enjoy it as well? Because I you know, when I used to do event planning, I used to find that I used to just be at the event, just fighting fires, and I didn't have time to actually enjoy it. Everyone else did, but I was there. I was having to kind of manage everything. And is that the case, or is it? We do have great fun as well, because so pretty much as long as you're prepared, and say, you know, occasionally the odd thing goes wrong, but it's normally nothing we can't sort out. So yeah, once we're there and everybody's checked in, it's just you can pretty much let your hair down, which is great. That's awesome. And why salsa dancing? Why salsa over something else? Have you got a background in salsa? Why are you passionate about it?
Well, I guess some sort of friends introduced me to it many years ago now, and I used to dance as a child. But obviously, you know, as you grow up, you know, you kind of get into work, and you know, life takes over. So so some friends introduced me to the salsa, and I got hooked really, and it's a really lovely vibe, really nice people. The music, I love music anyway. I love all different types of music, and it was just a really fun way to meet people and keep fit at the same time. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I suppose that is the thing about it, keep fit as well. Yeah, I never thought about that. And so how many people do you have at your events? And where do you have a Facebook page for them, or a website or something like?
We have a website and a Facebook page, and because we've been going for about 15 years now, we get lots of repeat customers, which is really nice. And started our first event in the Norfolk area. And that's pretty much where we've stayed, and we've kind of moved around a bit. So we've got another event in Blackpool now. So we've had two events in Blackpool, and we've had a couple also in Scotland, which was interesting. It was a bit cold, but it was good fun. Nice bit of scenery.
And my dad was from Ayr in Scotland, so I know Scotland. Oh my gosh, it's such a cold place.
I'd never been before we went up for the event, and it's so pretty though, so pretty. But
it's beautiful,
but cold, yeah.
So what's the website and the Facebook so that people can find you?
So it's called AFROCUBAN PATI, which is AFROCUBAN and PATI.co.uk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on Facebook they would search for the same thing, right?
AFROCUBAN PATI as well. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant stuff. Awesome. And has COVID-19 affected the events that you've been running? Have you had it affected a little bit?
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah, we were due to have an event in March, literally just as things started kicking off. And we found out, I think about 4 or 5 days before, that the hotel we were using was going to be closing that week, basically. So very kindly, they haven't offered us a date in October. So we are crossing our fingers and everything else that some normality, comes back to us by October, and we can go ahead with the event then. So fingers crossed.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And you said that you do work with children as well.
Yes. Yeah. So I've
worked
worked
with children. Tell us about that.
Yes, I've worked with children for probably about 25 years now. Predominantly as a nanny, working in the family home with children all different ages. And then I had a couple of years I worked in a special needs school, which was really, really interesting, really rewarding, quite challenging at times, but a really, really nice experience. So I did that for a couple of years. And yeah, I just feel like I've got a natural connection with children, I think, which is why when I saw the advert for yourselves, I thought, yeah, I think that's something I could do. So yeah, and I really enjoy it.
Well, here's a question for you.
Yes.
My wife, Sarah, who, as you know, is the MD of the company, it's kind of basically she's the big boss. I don't know if you know this, but she is an ex-deputy head of primary schools.
I think I did hear something. Yes, I did hear something.
In fact, she was she was actually the youngest assistant head in the country. I think she made assistant head at 23. Yeah, and
cool.
But here's the thing: she is so organised, and she's an amazing MD for the company, and she understands children better than anyone because of her background. But she'll openly tell anybody that listens she couldn't be an entertainer because she spent so long educating children. She finds it very difficult to become an entertainer. Now, obviously, as a nanny and someone who's worked in schools in the past, you obviously have an education background, because as a nanny, it's not just fun and games all the time. Do you find that the experience of being a nanny hinders or helps being a children's entertainer?
Oh, definitely helps. Definitely helps me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. How come? In what way?
Because I think you find out, for example, when somebody meets, let's say, somebody who doesn't have children themselves, who's not been around children a lot, they meet a child for the first time. So it could be, a friend's child, let's say. Then automatically, how are you? Big and bouncy and bubbly, in their face. Whereas when I'm getting to know a child, I sort of keep quite calm, get down to their level and try and tune in with them. Yep. So I think it's just getting to know the child's, different behaviours and what you can connect to them. And obviously, if you know what they like, you can. So if I go to a party and I know it's Finding Nemo, let's say the child's really into Finding Nemo or unicorns, you can make a connection with the child, because you know what they're interested in, and you say, oh, you like so and so, and then you can start talking about it, and it just just helps you build a rapport with them. That's
great. That's awesome. Brilliant. Well, that's great. Here's another question for you. I'd like you to give some advice to everybody watching this, because a lot of the people that watch these are parents And we're obviously in a situation right now where a lot of parents are being forced into homeschooling their children. Now, as a nanny, can you give people some advice? Because I know there's a lot of parents out there that are beating themselves up, and it's like, oh, I wish I could do more and I can't. And especially people that are working from home and they're trying to balance teaching the children, homeschooling and work. And I know people can get very frustrated about it. I feel like I should be doing more. Have you got any advice as a nanny that you could give people when it comes to that sort of thing?
I would say, I think with all children, but particularly with the children I work with special needs, to have some sort of, sort of list, itinerary, so if you do yourself like a rota and that the children can help you do it, so they know, at sort of 8:30 they get dressed, at 9 o'clock we're going to do some maths and have something visual, and then the children, the children can have something to look at, and so what's next? Okay, have a look at your list and see what we're doing next, and get them involved as much as possible with the children I look after. We've been doing lots of baking, so you can do lots of maths, in baking. So that there's lots of fun things you can do. We've been doing the Cosmic Kids yoga, which is fantastic, and again, that doesn't feel like learning to them, but it's lots of physical development, and also good for their mental well-being. So there's so much stuff online I think you can find as well. But I think about what your child is interested in or they enjoy, and try and find something. So for example, the little one I look after, she's 6, and we've been doing maths with Lego. So got some Lego pieces, adding them up, taking them away, just try and make it as fun as you can.
That's great. That's awesome. Love it. That's a great piece of advice. And on the advice side of things, a lot of parents that are watching this are also considering booking a children's party, and a lot of parents that book us have never organized the children's party before. Based on your experience as a children's entertainer, having now worked with us for coming up to a year, what one piece of advice could you give people to make sure that their party is a massive success? You've seen all these parties, you've entertained so many of them. Is there a piece of advice you can give people that are planning their party that kind of would help them maybe making sure that it's a success?
I think probably just what I've mentioned already, is find that thing that your child's interested in, and try and theme it around that if you can, because and even if something goes wrong, they've got that theme there, they've still got that connection that's going to make it fun for them, and we do the rest. Sit back and we'll do the rest. You don't have to worry about anything. Exactly.
Absolutely. And what's your favorite package? Because you've done quite a few of them in your time at Non-Stop Kids.
I really enjoyed the safari one.
Really?
Really enjoyed it so much. I managed to find quite a few songs that I didn't know, that I could link to it. And I think it was a 5-year-old little boy. He had about 20 friends. And we went on a bear hunt. We did the dinosaur stomp. I just found 3 things that I hadn't done before. And I felt like I've been doing it for ages. We were stomping around the hall. They were really engaged. They were having so much fun. To see their little faces was really, really good. Yeah, that was my favourite one.
And that's a perfect example of what you were just saying. You can have a normal birthday party, but if you have a child that's into safari or into jungles and you adapt that theme to it, it's just going to make it even better.
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, what I want to do now is I have a list of questions here, and I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. Now, we're having a bit of a competition between the entertainers to see who can answer the most questions in 3 minutes.
Okay.
3.5 minutes, I think it is. Now, currently, hang on, I'd like to do a quick fire round. So I'm going to ask you as many questions as I can in 3.5 minutes, and we've got a leaderboard as to which entertainers have answered the most questions. At the moment, the winner is David Burgess from Liverpool, and I will say to you what I've said to everybody. I think it's because he's a Scouser and he can literally speak 10 to the dozen. But this is your chance to bring it home to London, to the London team. I know you're outside of London, but class is the London. Yeah.
I'll give it a try.
Right. Okay, here we go. So let me get my timer, which I have here. Just give me 1 second. Switching the timer on. And here it is. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, and your time starts now. If you could buy any type of food right now, what would you buy?
Curry.
Love it. What colour is your toothbrush?
Pink.
Okay. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
A giraffe. I'd be so tall, I could see for miles.
I like it. Who's your favourite superhero and why?
Superman.
Absolutely. Got to go with the classic. What's your favourite summer activity?
Barbecue.
I'm right there with you. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be and who would play you?
Oh my gosh. Rom-com, romantic comedy, I think. And oh my gosh. Sandra Bullock, I like her.
Oh, you can't beat a bit of Sandra. If you could be any flavour ice cream, what ice cream flavour would you be? And why?
Gosh. Have to be my favourite, mint choc chip.
Well, mint choc chip.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with mint choc chip.
You can't go wrong with mint choc.
If you could go anywhere in the world, snap your fingers and you appear anywhere in the world to wait out the rest of lockdown, where would you go?
Australia. I've got family there. I haven't seen them for years, so that would be nice.
Perfect. Are you a morning or a night person?
I used to be a night owl, but now I'm a morning person. So there you go.
Okay. And what's your favorite hobby?
Dancing.
Perfect. Of course, I should have known that. What's the one thing that annoys you the most?
People squeeze in the middle of the toothpaste.
You would hate my daughter. You would hate her. She's 5. That's all she does. I totally agree with you. Okay. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Alligator.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy.
That was in Florida. Yeah.
I suppose if you're ever going to eat alligator, it'd have to be in Florida.
Yeah, it was like a cross between chicken and something else. It was, slightly chickeny and slightly, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible at all.
Wow. Okay. What's the first thing that you do when you get up in the morning?
Have a cup of tea.
Love it. What is one of your weird quirks?
I wouldn't say it's weird, but I twiddle my hair.
Okay. Yeah. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Fun, chatty, bubbly.
Love it. If you could trade lives with anyone for one day, who would it be and why?
Oh my god. Oh, the Queen. Very curious to see what she gets up to.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'd agree with you there. Where would you go if you were invisible?
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Don't know? This is the one that stumps me. To the moon.
To the moon. Why not?
Why not? Sneak onto a spaceship. Love it. And what if you could have any superpower, what would you have? One superpower.
Reading people's minds.
Oh, I agree with that. That'd be so awesome. What's the one thing that you're most afraid of?
Gosh. There's not a lot I'm afraid of.
You're a superhero then.
I am. Yeah. Whenever there's a spider in the house, Caren is the one who picks a spider up, puts it outside. So there you go.
Whenever there's a spider in my house, I'm the one that goes, "There's a spider!" and runs in the other direction. And then my wife jumps in and saves the day. Last question. What celebrity annoys you the most?
Celebrity. Oh, Keith Lemon. He irritates me.
Yes, I'd have to. Is he
Sorry,
through the keyhole? Yeah, I agree with
Sorry,
that.
Keith.
I agree. I wouldn't disagree. Right, that was awesome. Now we're going to finish off with one last thing, and this is something that most entertainers have struggled with, but try your best. I would like you to do an impression. It can be any impression, anybody that you want. I've discovered that most entertainers in Non-Stop Kids are terrible at impressions. Who knew? But you can do any impression that you want to, but one impression.
Okay, I'm gonna try Poirot.
Oh wow! Okay.
Well, I think I don't know who done it.
I love that. I love that. I was thinking, how is she going to pull this one off? But no, that was good. I like that. I like that.
On the spot, Craig.
Even if you hadn't have said that was Poirot, I would have guessed it. That was really good. That was awesome. Brilliant. Well, we're going to finish off with one last thing, which is, in all your years of experience and all the different things that you've done, and dance and children's entertainment and nannies, I always ask people to finish off with this one thing. If you could give everybody one piece of advice, it doesn't have to be about anything in specific, it doesn't have to be about kids' entertainment or anything. If you could give people one piece of advice based on all your years of experience, what piece of advice would you give them to finish off?
I've got it. Never assume.
Perfect. You know what? I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
It is so important. It is so important. So I've learned over the years as well. I think it's something that comes with age, sadly, as well.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. I think that's the perfect piece of advice. Caren, it has been a pleasure having you on this spotlight. Thank you so much for joining me.
Most welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. Don't forget, if you want to book Caren to come and do your child's party, yeah, just go into nonstopkids.co.uk and follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. We put 5 videos up every single day, and make sure that you follow us and you get to see all that amazing content. But we'll be back again a little bit later on today. But Caren, one more time, thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.